Welcome to the MWA podcast, the space where we celebrate the incredible Muslim women who are shaping our communities, breaking barriers, and making history. I'm Saada Mahmoud, your host. And joining me today, I would like to welcome Imaani Yahya. She is the voice behind The Healthy State and a wellness creator. Imaani, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm truly honoured, honestly. I can't believe I'm here.
Thanks, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How was your New Year like?
Alhamdulillah, it was good. It was good. I think we always find this time of the year very hard to navigate because like either we're going to be in the complete motivation mode or sometimes reflection for me can be quite tough because then I'm like, oh my God, like I've had a whole year and there's been a lot of ups and downs in 2025, a lot of growth spurts and a lot of stillness as well.
Yeah.
So it was a lot to kind of just like navigate, but alhamdulillah, I do feel like I'm ready to embrace.
Are you ready for 2026?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think you described it so well. I feel like I've been in that reflection.
Yeah.
Especially for the whole of December. I feel like as soon as the awards were done, I feel like I've just been in that reflection and
I know.
drained.
Yes, like I definitely I don't think 2025 was probably the year I had the most burnout, if I'm being honest. I hate to start the pod.
No, tell us.
Or with the darkness. But just keeping it completely real, I do feel like, you know, especially being on social media, we constantly keep thinking that, yeah, like we've achieved so much because everyone always sees our highlights, but no one sees the trenches that you take to get to that perfect picture, that perfect slide, like dump of like an amazing event. And I realized like I definitely kept doing that on social media to the point where like I think I didn't really know how to let people know like actually like your girl was burnt out just before this event.
How do you share that though?
Yeah.
Are you at that place now where you can share those?
Yeah, like I do feel like one thing I want to do in 2026 now, which is so wild to say, is that like, you know, the whole idea of like creating more than consuming. I definitely feel like I was very guilty of that by the end of 2025. I felt like I was consuming so many things online. You know, the perfect like routine when it came to your health, the perfect routine when it comes to your spirituality, your deen, your family, like your goals, your aspirations. And then I realized afterwards, like, I'm just consuming so much and that's actually nothing that I'm really creating, which is why I started the whole page.
And it takes away your creativity, right?
Yes.
All the consumption really takes away your actual creativity.
You keep thinking, you look at something online, you're like, okay, you know what? That went viral. That's doing well. They look like they're a successful company, they're a successful business. Let's imitate because, you know, there's nothing wrong with seeking inspiration. But you know, when you start to realize, oh, like you've completely forgotten why you started, or you've forgotten like what makes you and trusting in that is something that I feel like I definitely I got lost in it last year. And that's why in December, like I didn't really post anything for the last 2 weeks of December. And in social media world, it's like I've taken a sabbatical for 6 months. I'm not
It's so dramatic online, isn't it? It's so dramatic. Like, where's she gone?
I've died, and it's like no one really cared. You're just gonna post again and you'll be fine. But my internal world was thinking, damn, like built all of this to now feel so drained. Don't even know what to post. Don't even know what to start with. And then I was like, you know what? Let me start with actually just again renewing my intentions and realizing like let me actually go back to creating rather than just consuming.
Sometimes it's best to take it back to basics, innit? And just put one foot in front of the other. Khalas. Do you know what I mean? Keep it super simple and just one foot in front of the other and do what you can.
And you know what, like it's so weird because I've been doing, so I started my page in 2020, funnily enough, but then really and truly, it's only until
You started your?
My fitness page, so the Healthy State actually.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I started just doing fitness workouts at home. Like I was those people that used to like work out with milk bottles, like, and you know, rice sacks and just like be in the garden. Like I was a pure lockdown, you know, the lockdown businesses.
Is that where you felt like, have you always been
into fitness? Not really. No? I'm gonna have to expose myself here.
Was it 2020 that you were like snap out of it?
Yeah. Literally, I hated PE. I was just sitting on the bench.
What?
I'm telling you, I'm low key. I'm a late bloomer. Like, but you know what? I was always surrounded by fitness though. So I'm a middle child. So
That's what I want to know. The middle child, and I like that you've gone to high school and all of that. Where did you grow up?
East London.
Okay, so you're still in East London, babe?
Yeah.
I love it. And where did you go to school? Where did you go to school?
I went in a school called Mayfield. So I don't know if you know, but it was like growing up, that catchment area let's just say like the ratio of A star to C, I like my school wasn't part of like the high performing
Okay.
schools at all. So I literally like I was a proper nerd growing up, but I also didn't realize that like I from a very young age like at to like GCSEs, I always knew that I had to work much more harder to get my grades, and nothing ever came easy for me.
Okay.
But yeah, like all I was studying. Sports
Do
was
you have
not in
loads
my
of friends
zone.
in school?
I
What
feel
was your personality like? Because now
I,
you're super bubbly and
yeah.
out there and whatnot. And now you're telling me that you're a fake fitness guy. So growing up, you weren't about the fitness. So I
I
want to know,
wasn't.
were you
I was on
shy?
books. I was, you know what? I was quite a confident kid.
Okay.
I was, my type A personality has followed me through since I was like
Okay,
young.
nice.
I was always a type A personality. And I did enjoy school a lot, but just fitness wasn't really in my like in my dictionary at all. It was only, funnily enough, it was only when I got into my 20s. And I remember when I had my A-level exams, and that was the first time I thought when I was 18 my world was going to end, because I was like, I didn't get my A-level grades. I was meant to go to LSE uni. I was one of those proper geeks that like I had my offer letter right next to my bedside table, looked at it every single day, woke up for Joe, looked at the offer letter. I was manifesting, and then results day came. I didn't get my grades, and I remember that feeling like my world was ending and crashing. I remember I was like, I was saying to my parents, I was like, I've been getting straight A's, and now I'm a failure. And I think it's weird because now I'm 27 and I'm realizing like, why did I think I was such a failure? And I think it was also like I was a product of like my dad was an immigrant from back home. My parents came from very, very humble beginnings. Like both their parents worked really hard. I always kind of, when I was even like the age of 14, I remember like I didn't know what career I wanted to do, but I just wanted to make a lot of money so that I can give back to my parents. Like genuinely. And it was a very active thought because I always saw my parents struggle for money.
Yeah.
So it was like so that's what was my whole goal of like actually like getting
So
good
that's how you
grades.
panned your career out.
Yeah.
And everything. Your whole goals were, I need to
Money
be able to-
orientated.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't care about passion at that point at all. I just literally I think from a very young age, I just grew up on a much more of a survival instinct. Alhamdulillah, I grew up with a lot
Were
of
you the
love.
eldest girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I am.
And you said you're the middle child as well?
Yeah, so I have one older brother, one younger sister, and then it's me.
Okay.
But it's funny because when my dad passed away, I think I also got upgraded to eldest child.
I think you were eldest full stop. As the eldest girl.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
Period. All the
Especially,
eldest girls listening, you're heard. You're heard in your
Yeah.
Are you eldest girl?
I am. Ebian's the eldest girl too. Yeah.
We all feel seen, heard.
Yeah. But I feel like we're the ones that kind of break the mold within our families
We
as
have
well.
to.
Yeah.
We have to be the one to break the generational like standards, the barriers, but we also take on the guilt of being like, oh my God, like, have I wrecked the family? But then I'm going to build it up again because I'm the glue of the family. That's kind of how I
You
grew
put a lot
up.
of pressure on yourself.
I did. Like, even from the age of 10, I remember, like, me and my mum, we've always had like more of a friendship rather than just like sometimes it will go from like mother-daughter, then it'll go to like friendship, and then it'll be like reluctant friend, but like therapist friend.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm now the age that my mum got married to my dad, and I'm just like, she was just a woman going through her own life journey at the same
I think
time.
the older we get, we realize that our parents and our mums are just girls.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
genuinely.
mean?
That
And
had
we
to deal with a
realize,
lot.
that had to deal with so much. Was your mum born
100%.
here?
Yes, she was. But her parents both came in the 70s.
Okay.
So, and that was when like there was a massive influx of Bangladeshis that came to the UK. And like, yeah, like my granddad, he was like he was a taxi cab company driver, and then he also worked with Ford for a while. But my grandma was a typical just a stay at home mum at the time. She did a bit of seamstressing, but they grew up in like when like London was very like there's a lot of racism
I
towards,
can imagine, especially in East London as well. Well,
yeah.
the whole of London, but
yeah, and they grew up in Mile End. Like this was the area of the hub of Bangladeshi migrants at the time. So yeah, like my mum grew up with a lot, and my dad, when he was 18, he left Bangladesh and he started his life then in Germany, all by himself. So he was the first one at 18 to leave the country. So I grew up with very hardworking parents. It was in my blood to always work hard. Like, and I always saw it as my parents like they weren't the conventional Bengali household either.
It sounds like you guys weren't.
They
Yeah.
weren't. So my mum, she actually, it's so weird, but like, and this is why you never do it anyway, but you can never express your struggles to your mum because she'll be like, let's play,
You know
let's
what I
play
went
it.
through.
You know what I mean? And she actually, by the time she had me, she was doing a law degree part-time, but also working a paralegal during the day. And my dad used to then take us to school, and then he would work in his restaurant at night. So they were like clockwork. So
Oh, that's amazing though. Your dad seems like, for someone that came from back home, not trying to stereotype, but
nah,
he seems very liberal, very
advanced.
open-minded. Yeah.
He was the dad. Like there was, and I'm not just saying it because everyone always said that about their dads, but he had this super dad complex about him.
Did he?
Like he genuinely, especially because he came from back home and had to had to kind of like integrate into society and what this generation was. He had this ability to talk to everyone of every generation, like, and make everyone feel heard, whether you're 5 or you're 50 or you're 15. Like because he grew up and his biggest pride and joy in this life was his kids, and he was a very proud dad because he took us to school, then he would come bring us home, make us food, bathe us, take us to mosque. His routine was so solid, and so was my mum's, that now I'm thinking like I'm like, when did they have time for each other? But that wasn't their priority. Their priority was just giving their kids a good life.
Yeah, but I think when you have kids and you're in the thick of it,
Yeah.
because when you think about it, as you said, like your mum was your age when she got married.
Exactly.
So when you think about it, like think of your life right now, especially now if you throw in kids, like you ain't got time for romance and stuff. Like, yes, you can try and make time for it, but you're so engrossed with kids and survival.
Literally.
Do you know what I mean? Just
surviving. And that was a generation of survival. They genuinely, all they knew what to do was, how can I survive? How can I get to the next day? And my dad, he was a cab driver as well. He had a restaurant, but then it all kind of fell through when I want to say when I was like 14 or even younger. And then he spent like a good over 10 years being in a cab service, and like he went taxi with like Uber, Addison Lee, even done some like just more of like the inner like area of like you have those mini cab services you don't have anymore. He used to do
I used to love those mini cabs.
Yeah.
Now if I'm going to the airport, I will still call the airport with mini cabs.
They'll always come through for you,
and they're cheaper and they wait for you.
And the thing is, my dad, like, he would say to me, like, because when he passed away with cancer, right? So he only stopped working because he got sick. So it was a very interesting, like, dynamic.
When did he?
He passed away in 2022 July. So subhanAllah, it's going to be 4 years this year, which is wild. But yeah.
And how long was he sick for?
10 months. Yeah.
Imaani like that?
Yeah. And the thing is, he was so fit. So that's where like healthy state kind of grew its meaning. But like he was a 60-year-old man who was 62 at the time, and he used to go gym. Yeah, he used to go gym 5 days a week. He was like, he was that uncle in the gym where like he would be in the Zumba classes, all the ladies, and he would be motivating them. He would be literally like, come on girls, let's do this. You know what I mean? And like, but he'd also be the uncle in the gym that would handshake all the younger generation and be like, go on, pump harder then. Like, that this is your man. You need to be able to provide. You need to look after your family. And like, he always said to me, like, even though I might not have the most flashiest job or the flashiest car, like, I've got my health, and that's why I'm rich.
Yeah.
And he was so proud of his health. He was never vain, but he showed people, like, you could be 60, like, why are you letting yourself go? Like, I'm a 60-year-old Asian man. I reversed my diabetes. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what made me realize, like, subhanAllah, it was his health, ironically, that deteriorated, but it went in such a beautiful way that it was like Allah kind of saw it wasn't because he was not a man that honored his body, but it was just the way it went. It was like a movie, if I'm being honest. But
what cancer did he have?
It started with liver, and then it then spreaded because he got COVID in June. So he got diagnosed in September. It was a crazy journey because it was like the beginning of the week, he found out that he's doing a biopsy. They've got stage 2. When the biopsy results came back that same week, he's at stage 4. Yeah, it was in a week. And I was 23 at the time. I just turned 23. So that was my first grad job. I didn't know anything about compassionate leave or bereavement leave, nothing. Just started a job. And I remember, like, I was in I'm still in my corporate job now, but like, it was so weird because how do I explain when I'm like the youngest in the whole team that, like, by the way, like, my dad got cancer, like, that I can't come into the office because I'm taking him to chemo.
Yeah.
And I was only 23 at the time. My brother was 26 and my sister was 17. So it was a very crazy transition of the household. Like, it went from my dad being the most independent dad. Like, he wasn't those Asian dads that would ask for tea and sit down and watch TV all day. Like, he was like so independent. He'd like garlic in the morning, go to the gym. Like, he had a solid routine. And then it all just one day just completely stopped. And then he got COVID in June, and then he passed away in July because the COVID basically just accelerated the
Deteriorated him,
cancer.
yeah.
Exactly, and everything kind of spread it. But subhanallah, like, it's weird because, and I'm sure you feel the same. You'll never forget that period of time. That period of time could be years away now, but you'll remember exactly what you were doing or the day itself or that period of time. And it's like, I think I don't know if it's beautiful is the right word, but that's grief. Like, do you know what I mean? It just, everything else can move forward, but you always remember that exact period of time. And you kind of don't want to also forget it, because it's like, it's the last kind of moment you hold on to before they're now longer in the world.
You're able to speak about it so well. Has it sunken in yet?
That's, you know what? I don't know, because I think in certain places of my life, I would think, yeah, it has sunk in, because it's like, but at the same time, it hasn't. And I know why, because funnily enough, so because my dad was a cabbie, New Year's was always double rate, double fare. He used to put all the house music on for everyone. He would take everyone from one club to another club, and he'd be like, and he'd get his tips. And every single year, without fail, at 12 o'clock midnight, he'd call us and he'd be like, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And you know what? Like, my dad obviously was from back home, so he had his little accent, but he was very much like all right, mate, like, let's, you know what I mean? He really knew how to
a little EastEnder.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and again, January came, 1st Jan, and I couldn't help it. Like, me and my sister and my mum, we started crying, because we were like, we're waiting. Like, it's like, it was 12:30 by that point. The firework on BBC One had finished, and we're like, okay, Bubba's gonna call now, and he's not calling. And obviously, he's not called for 4 years. He didn't even call for 5 years, really, because he got sick.
Okay.
By that
time, he was sick. Yeah, he was.
So, like, and it's weird because I can't help but think he did that all my life, even though obviously probably when I was like 5 or 6 he didn't, but that was just such a normal thing. And I was just like, damn, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to escape that. Like, so that was a thing where it's like, I found it hard to, again, because then when I came around to, I was like, why is he not doing that? Oh, it's because he's passed. That's when I was like, okay, I'm accepting it, but I'm really struggling to accept it. And that's like 3.5 years in.
I know, it never goes though, does it?
It never goes.
And it never will, but I feel like the pain just might get a little less, maybe.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, but I love how you've taken your grief and you've poured it into trying to help others and trying to better yourself and trying to honor your father in that healthy state, right? Because from your saying, like, your dad was so proud of his body and his health and how active he was.
Yeah.
So for you to be able to, transition that and pour into that, that's amazing.
But you know what, Swada? I feel like that is genuinely, I'm not even just saying it, but like, I genuinely feel like that's the least I could do for a man as incredible as that. Like, because I know, like, he was my dad, but he was a very much community man, and to the extent where it's like, not only did he inspire people his own age, but he inspired younger generation to get fit, to get healthy. He didn't need a platform for that. He didn't need 1 million views for that. He just day in, day out showed that every single day. He went to the gym. Like, I remember in his 60th birthday, he did like 60 press ups just to show, like, let me do it. I can do
60 press ups.
Yeah. And he would literally, any time, Ramadan, it was so hilarious. God knows why, he just go into his vest and start flexing. I'm like, Baba, we're at the dinner table. We get it. You got muscles. We get it. But like, I think behind that though, he was also a man, like, and it's very weird, and I don't know if you've had the same, where it's like, random people will talk to you about your dad that you didn't even know stories about, and you're like, now I just really like want to know more about them. And like,
but he must have had such a huge impact as a cab driver as well.
Yeah.
And
it was crazy because, like, so his janaza till this day, like, I find it crazy, and I think that's what encapsulated the meaning of life for me, where it's like, he only had 4 family members in this country, and they were also distant family members. They were actually like his mum's like relatives of a distant, like, friends, family. There were only 4 of them that attended, and there was over 300 people at his janaza, and that was the village he created in this country by himself with no other family member. And it's like, our local butcher's closed the day of his janaza. Even like a random guy who I still get my car wash from him, he said to me one time, he was like, you know, your dad, like, because obviously you still have that awkward moment where someone might not know they passed. You know? You have to tell them, like, how's your dad? You're like, oh, he's not here no more. Like, and you know, and they'll be like, you know, your dad used to give me a banana every day for iftar a couple years ago. And I'm like, this was the impact this man had. And I think to myself, like, I've had some crazy experiences where I'm like, how, like, you don't even need to tell me the man you are. Like, you've left such a legacy where it's like, the least I can do through my page is show people, like, I didn't come, this wasn't all me. Like, this was very much heavily impacted by the man who made me who I am today and who continued to shape me. Like, anything I do now, I feel like I've actually got a purpose. And I think in this world, it's very hard to find that sometimes.
It's so true to find,
You know?
exactly. I feel like, but from what you've said, is like your purpose shifted.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Because when you were younger, your purpose you felt like was to be financially stable so you could help your family out.
Yeah.
And then it seems like now, and from the impact of your dad, like your intentions have changed. And it's now more like, I want to help those. I want to help people stay healthy and get healthy. And especially for someone that didn't even enjoy pizza growing up.
You know, this is what I mean though, because I literally feel like I realize now, like, health really elevated my life in so many ways. Like, when it comes to friendships, connections, opportunities, my career. Like, even though I still have my 9-to-5 job.
What's your 9-to-5 job, babes?
I recruit lawyers for a living.
whom?
So I work for a law firm.
Okay.
So if anyone's here with like who's a law graduate or studying law, you'll probably know how competitive it is to get into training contracts and stuff. So I work for a corporate law firm, and I just organise all the graduate programs for basically students, so law and non.
Okay, break it down for me. So graduate program, so for them to be able to get into
the firm. So basically I do all the HR around that, all the recruitment, the interviewing, like the organising of interviewing. Yeah, so I've been doing that since, because I actually had done a law degree myself. So funny enough, instead of becoming a lawyer, I've now just decided to go to the other side and recruit the lawyers instead. Yeah,
but I find that's less stressful, no?
it is. yeah. I wouldn't be able to do Healthy Stay if I was an actual corporate lawyer, because the hours are so unforgiving. I wouldn't.
And you followed that from your mum?
Yeah. My mum always said to me, don't ever do law, I hate this, all this stuff. And then my dad was like, don't ever be a lawyer. So I was like, okay, let me just stay in the industry in a way that's a bit more manageable. So yeah, I still have my corporate peak periods. And
how do you enjoy your work?
I do.
Yeah.
Because I think my whole reason was because when I was doing law, all these big corporate Magic Circle law firms, they've done a lot now for diversity and inclusion. But when I first started back in like 2018, 2017, when I started my degree, I was like, I don't see anyone that looks like me that's a big shot lawyer. Like, why is everybody old and white and male? Like, literally. And then I was like, I really felt very passionate from a diversity and inclusion perspective to be like, oh, I want more people that look like me. So I kind of worked my way up in that side of my career to be like, okay, let me start organizing programs, let me start looking at stats, let me start working with the D&I team to be like, yeah, let's actually get more people in.
You're just action based, aren't you? You just mashallah, Allahu Mubarak. I like that though. You're very, if there's a problem, I'm gonna fix it.
It's the eldest daughter in me.
It is, and I love it. We've seen people here don't look like me. Let's change that.
Literally, and that's literally what my whole ethos with Healthy Stay came about as well. Because with Healthy Stay, I remember like when I joined Honor, I was the first ever hijabi as an athlete at all, even their first talent.
Who's Honor?
So Honor Activa is the brand that I work for.
Okay.
So they're the ones that like in terms of all the clothes that I ever wear when it comes to my video, it's theirs. And they're only a 5-year brand, and they've had the most incredible growth. And like, it's crazy because I remember I really wanted to play part of that brand, because the person who founded the brand, Chrissy Chella, she was basically a fitness influencer at start as well. And now she's amassed like billions of pounds from the actual company itself. And like, I remember, because I was following her, like how like she's a fitness influencer from when I was 18. So at 21, when she launched her brand, I was like, oh my God, like I want to be part of that brand. And I still remember that. Yeah, but it was crazy because till this day I remember when they had like a casting call, it was like one of those storm days, you know, I think it was like Storm Eunice or something. And I told my sister, I was like, can we please, I know it's a storm right now, but can we go to a car park, just take some photos of me? I just want them to see my photos, be part of the casting call. I didn't get the casting call. And I said to my friends, I was like, I know I didn't get it because I don't look like them. Like they're shooting in leggings and fashion like shorts and sports bras. Like, why are they gonna get a hijabi? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I really want to be part of it. Lo and behold, a year later, I got signed as an affiliate, and even then though, that wasn't an easy way of doing it either. Like, I remember the day when all that happened, it fell into place. I remember, like, I actually asked, like, I didn't wait for the door to come open to me. Like, I went.
You were knocking.
I was knocking shamelessly.
Good.
And it was then that's when I realized, I was like, okay, you know what, the space maybe it wasn't built for me straight away because of how it was built before me, but I'm gonna build it now.
Facts. And they're going to accommodate me.
Yeah. And I think, like, now, alhamdulillah, like, social media has come a very long way in even the last 2-3 years. I feel like now
drastically
people aren't really knocking, like, the doors are being opened for them because there's opportunity. There's almost marketing around it.
Because now they understand the Muslim pound.
Yes, it is a Muslim pound.
Yeah, now they understand that we hold weight. That what, we don't have money?
Exactly.
We don't want to buy things? We don't want to be represented?
Yeah, like, golden agents start with us, like, you know.
But I definitely think that also was down to a lot of social media. Like, I think so, yeah.
Like, some of us had to walk before the one
started. And as you said, you started knocking these doors. They weren't coming to you before.
No.
As you said, it's only the last couple of years. So,
and even now, to be fair, in the fitness scene, I could probably count with both my hands people who are my inspirations, and also people who I've had the honor to be able to connect with, work with, and actually, like, share spaces. And we all think the same. We're like, there's not many of us still yet. Like, in the grand scheme of things, if you go to a fitness event, you can still, like, in Honor Active, me and Aisha were, like, the first kind of hijabis that were, like, athletes. In Gymshark, they've only got 2 athletes as well that hijabi. Like, these really big fitness brands, they might be now working with certain talents that are hijab, like, you know, who are Muslim women who visibly look Muslim. We are still within the under 5 in terms of numbers. And then you compare that to all the other female fitness influencers.
So true.
There is still, we're like the 5%, and then everyone else is like the 95%. That's a lot to carry, because then you kind of ask yourself, you're like, okay, I don't want to be a product of tokenism, but also I want to be a product of my community and actually be a mouthpiece in the right way.
Yeah.
So,
and kind of open doors for others.
Yeah, because you know what I realized as well, in being in the fitness space specifically, like, I think it's very different from other industries in the Muslim, like, social media world. That? Like, in the sense that, like, if you look at maybe beauty or you look at, like, fashion, like, along the back, there's been loads of creators that have now been in it for a couple of years, like over 10 years. Some of them are really thriving. Fitness scene, it's only been very recent.
Because I think fitness, when we think about it, especially as Muslim women, it's something that should be private.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
think that's what it is as well.
Yeah. There's a certain level of modesty, and that's something that I've had to also really ask myself multiple. I have to renew my attention all the time with the page, because I'm like, you know what? It's so funny, because I think to myself, some other creator don't get the same scrutiny as me, you know. Every creator does get scrutiny, because if you're a Muslim woman online, you are signing up for a certain level of scrutiny.
Agreed.
Right? But at the same token, I'm like, but still, something's not adding up, because why does that seem like that's fine, but here it's coming across like it's only fans when it's really not. Like, I'm just trying to encourage Muslim women to move their bodies.
Do they act like it's like only fans?
Yes.
What's some of the feedback you get?
You know, the typical line, like, hijab for Allah and body for Abdullah and all this kind of
what? I've never heard.
And I'm like, oh my God, like, it's really not the case. I'm really trying to help your wife get in shape. Like, come on, mate. Like, I'm actually doing, like, the God's work.
Thanks, I need to hear that again.
I can't repeat it. I can't repeat it. You repeat it.
And the body for Abdullah. I'm so done. Stop.
And I'm like, please. And sometimes it's from the sisters. I'm like, listen, sis, you should know better. Like, you should know, like, I always am the type of person as well. Like, I'll be honest with you. I really understand the reason why people give advice. As Muslims, we want one another to benefit from this world and the next world. If you see something wrong, you should call it out. But it's the way you call it out.
100%.
There was once upon a time this thing of advising in private. There was also modesty with the way you speak.
But now it's not that anymore.
Yeah.
It's not advice anymore, it's shame.
Yes.
It's totally different, because if you did want to advise me, there's a way to do that.
Exactly.
Right?
If it's from the
but
kind
now
of
it's
heart,
you want to shame me, you want your minute, you want your little clout as well. And I
yeah.
feel like that's with both male and female.
100%. It's crazy, because I think to myself, I'm like, even the whole thing with TikTok now being a thing where you stitch someone else's video to give your opinion, let that berate them, and then that goes viral, and then all of a sudden you're basically a hate account. And you've gone
Exactly.
viral.
And that's what it is. It's like, what do you stand for? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you about? Are you here to actually shame the Ummah? Are you here to, do you know what I mean? To kind of push them away from what you're meant to be bringing them closer to. And I find the people that talk are the ones that struggle the most.
They always say it. They always say the thing that you judge, you get humbled with eventually. But you'll stay silent on that.
100%. 100%.
And that's how I've been feeling. And to be fair, like, I had to always remind myself, I'm like, you know what, like, why did I start this page? Also, why did I continue that page in 2022? Because I'll be honest, when my dad passed away, it was so ironic because I never shared to the world ever that my dad had cancer. Ever. Like, as in, for 10 months straight, I was actually posting like normal. Like, I think the only time when I somewhat exposed that what I was going through was there was another creator, one of my friends in the industry, bless her, we wanted to make content together, and we were very newly connected. And it was such a bad day because my dad, he just had chemo the day before and he was vomiting everything up, and it was just me and him. I just couldn't leave him, and I had to say to her, I was like, babe, I'm so sorry, but I can't make the shoot today because my dad's got stage 4 cancer. And he's vomiting. And then she was like, oh my God, that's absolutely fine. But she's probably thinking, girl, like, you are post like normal and you just told me your dad's got stage 4 cancer. Granted, I probably should have been a bit more palatable, but in that time,
no, it's like, what?
How do I explain it?
How do you ever say that? Do you know, when is the right time? How do you put it? How does it? Yeah.
And this was a person that I've just newly networked with. We were going to create content together. It was like, I didn't know how to basically tell them, I'm so sorry, but like, I can't make today. And I have to give a good enough reason. It's not even a reason, it's my reality.
It's your reality.
Like, for you to just realize that, like, I'm not trying to be flaky. I actually really want to work with you.
It was so big that you felt like it was an excuse.
Yeah.
Because it's so heavy.
And I'm like 23 years old, and I'm just like, I didn't even, at that point as well, there was no such thing as monetizing off social media. There was I wasn't working with any brands. I never went to any events. Not what I'm now doing with Healthy State. None of that. So that was the first time. But other than that time, the whole 10 months, I didn't say a thing because I didn't know what to express. I was just starting up on my page, like I was just building community. I was just doing fun workouts, you know what I mean, in the gym. And then I remember when Baba passed away, I did ask myself, I was like, I actually have no purpose right now. Like, I don't see anything. Everything is dark. Baba's gone. He's taking the light with him. Nothing's coming back. And then I was like, you know what? I shared a post about my dad, and I was just saying, like, he really was my fitness inspiration. Like, he really showed me like what it was like to just hold so much impact, even though you could be not the same age as somebody, not the same gender, not the same race, not the same culture, but someone can still really respect you because of the values you hold as an individual and the impact and the inspiration that you hold. And after that, I was like, you know what, like, actually, let me share my story. And then I had an influx of people DM me, and I still remember till this day, I had 2 DMs from people. One DM was from a girl who was like, you don't know me, but your dad actually, I don't have a dad. So firstly, in Rajiul, and I'm sorry for your loss. I know what it's like to live without a father in this world. It's really hard. I'm really sorry. Then she was like, second of all, your dad actually helped me one day in the corner shop because I couldn't hold my bags. And I remember that day really missing my dad, and your dad was just there. And till this day, he never know how much he really impacted me. And I was like, if I didn't have my page, I would never have known that story. SubhanAllah. And then another girl was like to me, she was like, she DM'd me and she was saying to me, she was like, your dad used to come to my Zumba class every single week. And she was like my age, and she was like, he used to always talk to me about how proud he was of you for your law degree, and like, and he always used to speak about you and your other siblings, and like, we really miss him. Like, the class isn't the same without him. And then I was thinking to myself, I'm like, damn man, like, how have I been able to like still feel a sense of my dad from the internet, from strangers online? And I don't take that for granted at all. And that's not to say now I do this because I'm trying to look for the next DM. It was more of a case of I felt so much comfort in that period. I was like, that was the only thing I did to navigate my grief. Like, I was either training so much or posting and doing them both. And then before I knew it, I was like, all the opportunities started to come to me. Like, that's when I got signed with Honor Actives. That's when I started getting PR. That's when I started getting events. And I was like, what if this was all my brother's du'as that are just now coming into fruition?
Yeah.
SubhanAllah. I don't know, but that's my comfort right now.
Yeah. And that's why you keep pushing. Good.
Because I'm like, I always think to myself, like, because I do think as women as well, we really struggle with embracing our successes or our little pinch me moments. Like,
do you struggle with that?
100%.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that grounds me is like sometimes that I have to remind myself, like, what if this is just my parents' du'as? Like, what if this was them praying for their child's success? And what if this is what the success has unfolded to?
Yeah.
Somehow, like, why am I still doubting that then? You know?
But then I feel like there's this thing. So even when you achieve what you wanted, it's hard to hold on to it. Do you think that it's just hard to keep up with it?
It's such a fleeting experience. Like, it's almost like before, you must have felt that at the dinner. You probably were like, afterwards, after the awards night, you were like, okay, so what's next?
Yeah.
And you kind of think, oh my God, like, wow, like, why didn't I like actually think more in the sense of like, oh my God.
How'd you find the awards now that you mentioned that? You were our 2024 finalists.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then 2025 presenting the sports award. How'd you find it?
Honestly, I was just like, firstly, in 2024, I remember, because that year was literally the year of like everything happening to me.
Wow.
So the fact it ended with the awards night, I like the awards, like, you know, night, and it was December. I was like, oh my God, what a way to mark 2025. Like, because at that point I got signed as an athlete. I went on my first ever brand trip. I hosted events. I was building a community, and then I was like, and I just got recognized by you guys, and I was just like,
but your community loves you because the amount you've got. No, but seriously, because for you guys to come through our doors and stuff like that, it's you're nominated. But you were really nominated.
Really?
Yeah. And that's where I remember last time I saw you, I was like, your community is a beast. Because even after that, like, I love that for you.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I've always thought to myself, like, I might not be on the 100K, 200K, 500K, but I've felt like I found a community at a time when I was at my lowest. And that's why I always say to like people who follow me, like, you guys are genuinely like my friends. Like, you guys, like, I want to host more in-person events because I need to see you offline. I need to thank you for sharing with me something that actually gave me a little bit of motivation to carry on and keep pushing. So yeah, when I was at the Muslim Women's Award, I was like, in 2024, I had so much imposter syndrome. I was like, oh, this sure is for me. Like, I don't really know. And the thing is, that evening as well, that opened a lot of, like, in some ways, doors for me. Because literally the women I met there, like I told you afterward, they were literally part of my own panel and my own event in April when it was Honor Active's first ever Eid event, and they pumped thousands into that event. By the way, I had a lot of pressure to deliver, and I remember I was so burnt out by that time because
So what were you doing? So Honor Active, what did they ask you to do?
They said host the Eid event.
Oh, they said host the Eid event.
They were like, we'll give you a venue, but you bring everything. Like, as in, you bring the people, you bring the guests, you bring the vibes, I organize.
Did you pitch that to them, or did they ask you?
I pitched it to them when I first started an affiliate in 2023, and then in 2024 I became an athlete, and I said to them, I was like, I really think this is a great opportunity. But the thing is, with big brands as big as that, you're not just talking to your manager. They've got to ask the big dog. The big dog got to ask budget. Budget needs to ask. Sign off can take years. And I know this because I was working with them for, by that point, 2 years in the making. And I was still a minority. So I was like, you know what? To ask for something where it's like, they even know that their primary audience isn't even the Muslim women at this point. That's a big ask to say to them, actually, trust me.
Yeah.
You just need to open an opportunity, a door for my community, let them flood in, then you'll see. And I think that event was really monumental because I didn't make it just a fitness event. In my panel, I had women who were like I had so many different types of women, like Muslim women that was inspired by the Muslim Women's Award.
Oh, no
and
way.
when I mean it was inspired, it was because my panel wasn't just women in fitness. There was women in entrepreneurship, women in media, women in fashion. And I had to show Honor Active that this is how multifaceted Muslim women are.
Mm.
Like, this is how we are actually thriving in social media. It's just in sports, we're very beginner phases. But in other industries, we're thriving. We've made our mark. We've had the first ever Barbie.
Oh,
We've
that's
had the
so
first
awesome
ever.
that you could do that
like,
through the awards as well. And that's
you
definitely been our
inspired.
goal. Like, for you guys to be able to come in and network and see each other and inspire each other and work with each other.
Yeah. And
you know, so to see that in action is amazing.
honestly, like, inshallah, Muslim Women will come into 2026
Yes,
on an
we
event.
are.
I'm going to speak into existence. It's not even come to my own hands yet, but when it does, I really hope you guys witness it, because sports is a very inclusive, like, actual concept in itself. Anyone should be able to, no matter what you look for, what you look like, where you come from.
Yeah.
Sports should be the thing that removes all that discrimination. Obviously, in reality, it's not the case. But even as Muslims, like, we do believe, like, it's an amana to keep healthy, right?
Yeah.
So technically, even whether you're a mother or a career-driven woman or a family-oriented woman or a baker or a musician or anything, really and truly, we all come together when it comes to looking after our body, because it's literally just a science to it. So that's why I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm not going to pigeonhole my box to anyone who just feels passionate about fitness.
Agreed.
Let me actually just make, because the reality was they're a fitness athleisure brand, right? So let me actually just show Muslim women that, you know what, we're starting off, the brand is starting off, but they really want to make more clothes for us. Whatever your journey is in your fitness journey, whether you do it full time or you do it just like you're getting into it or you're just doing it for a lifestyle, you can wear something that you feel comfortable with. That was the whole concept. That's why I was like, actually, it made sense for me to have a panel of women from different industries.
Exactly, because as you
brings us all
said,
together.
yeah, and plus health and sports and all of that, it's for everyone. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't, it's not like, oh, I'm a fitness babe. No, your health is wealth.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no matter who you are, what your background is, that's something that, yeah, brings us together and gets, oh, I love that.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was so monumental because all the girls were like, I've been to fitness events before, but I've never seen a panel where, like, we've had a woman talk about how they were the first hijabi, or a woman who's had a 10-figure salary after reverting like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Like, or a woman who has been, you know, collaborating with big fashion brands like ASOS and Nike and Levi. And now things myself, I was like, oh my God, like, I didn't even realize what I was in the presence of until I was sat in that moment. And I was like, you know what? And it was so funny because I was so burnt out by that point. I was very unwell. I think I couldn't even go the day before to set up the venue. My sister, my friends had to come because they were like, if you come today, you're not going to be able to come tomorrow. That's how crazy a thing it was. And then, but in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm burnt out. I'm about to collapse. But you know what? I have collapsed with a legacy in front of me.
Let me at least get this done.
First ever event. Yeah, because it was the first ever fitness event that a big brand has actually done and done it right. Like, it wasn't rushed. It wasn't like just a couple of like Eid Mubaraks on like a mirror or like on like a wall or balloons. It was actually a very intentional event, and everything was intentional to the point that I reached out to Muslim brands because I need them to feel like this is their spotlight as well.
Exactly.
Like, we're a big community, and so many brands were like, that was one of the events that I got the best gifting for my guests because they were really onto it. They're like, oh my God, this is Honor Active, and like, you got like, this is a big event for us. Even our caterers, they were all Muslim. Even our DJs, female
and that's
DJ.
what I mean. I feel like when the right people, get certain opportunities, I love it so much because you don't only open doors. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like you fling open the door.
I open the floodgates, mate.
Yeah,
like
everything. Like, let them in.
And
I love that.
It.
Yeah.
It's a whole community aspect though, isn't it? Like, even like my photographer, my videographer, they were all female, like, and they were great creatives, and they were very in their early journeys as well. And I was like, yeah, they deserve a platform.
Exactly.
They deserve the opportunity because I'm only here because someone said my name in a room that I wasn't in. Literally, that was Muslim Women's Awards.
Wow.
If it wasn't for someone else who I still would never know who it was, I wouldn't be where I am even sitting here.
Do you do a lot of public speaking?
A little bit, dabble.
Yeah. As we said, like, you were the presenter this year. I say this year, 2025, a few weeks ago. But you did it so well. Like, you're not shaking. Was you? You didn't look it.
I couldn't walk for a reason on stage. I stayed put.
No, you looked incredible. You speak well. You carry yourself well. Allahumma barik. So yeah,
it was really crazy because like, that was also, even though I've done quite a lot of public speaking, that was a first for me because I was like, damn, this woman, this room is powerful. This room has increased my tax bracket. in a matter of hours. I was like, oh my, am I even in the right tax bracket to be here? You know what I
You
mean?
know what? The guest list is getting
Guess
pretty
it's
up
getting
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm a bike. But yeah. So I remember when I was stood up there, I was like, and even the nominees this year,
I know.
they were so inspiring. I was like, oh my God, what an honor it is to present to them. What an honor it is to
Aw.
give them their accolades, because they deserve accolades. And yeah, I was just like, I was so blessed. And in that moment, I was like, you know what? Not that it needs to be a grief thing at all, but it was in that moment, I was like, I can't not like have people just know who I was in that, even though it was a couple of minutes. Like, I know sometimes that's all you have.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a couple minutes to leave impact, to leave someone to make you understand that, oh, okay, maybe that's also why that person is on stage right now. So I was like, I can't not give some kind of accolade to my dad,
100%.
you know? Because what if he never passed away and none of this would be where I am today? Not to say that I wouldn't trade it all in, because you know what, subhanAllah, I would. And I'm sure you would do the same.
A heartbeat.
Like, any success with dunya, although it has been incredible and it really is such a blessed feeling, I'll trade it all in if I had more time with my dad. I would trade it all in. I would go instead. And I think that's why, like, sometimes people are like, oh my God, like, you speak about your grief so beautifully. And I'm like, yeah, but there is that still part of me that's still crying on the mat.
Yeah.
Or like,
No,
you
and
know?
even when you bring it to me, I feel like our situations are just so different when it comes to my dad. Like, I
Really?
lost my dad when I was a kid.
Oh, how old were you?
I was 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so you navigated all your life
Without a dad, do you know? And it
Wow.
burns me now. I don't know why. I think the dad conversation just gets me emotional all the time. But yeah, I grew up without a dad.
Wow.
But then I realized with me and grief, I blank it out.
How do you do it?
I act like they're still alive. They're just not here. Like, even when I lost my gran, and even it's just like, you're not here, you're somewhere else. Maybe I compartmentalized it, so it's just like, you're there.
Yeah, it is hard concept otherwise to think that they are, like, you know, they're so far away that they're almost unreachable.
Exactly.
And you're never going to reach them again.
And it's like, as a kid, I don't know, it impacts you a lot different. But then when I think about somebody when you're older and you lose your parents, like, that's gut wrenching. Like, maybe with me, I don't know, everyone's different. But like, the way I see it is like, with me, I had to navigate life without it. And it burnt me. It definitely did. Because then when you have other people with their dads, or then it's like, do you know? Yeah.
Like, Father Day, when you're a kid, did you write a card?
No. I was like, no, I'm doing it for my mum. But you know, but it's that. It's also growing up and feeling like I'm going to see him.
Yeah.
Do you know? Like, it's not really gone. Like, I'm going to see him here.
Did you ever feel a type of bitterness towards like life in general? Like, if you had any
I felt bitterness
where's my
when
dad?
people didn't get on with their dads.
Yes. Oh, I hate it. I'm like, but then I'm
That's
also
why
like,
of course, now I'm an adult, I can understand.
yeah, same.
But no, I remember going ham on my cousin. But yeah, I felt more bitterness then when it was like, yeah, how dare you? Like, you've got your dad.
Yeah.
You know,
At least you got a dad. They might be deadbeat, but they're still here. Mine's just dead.
No, but even that, but I feel like grief and how it hits you is different in different stages of your life.
100%.
I can't even imagine being older, and then I know you're meant to be okay when you're older, but it's like, no, you were literally my foundation. You were my life, you know? So
yeah, it is. You know what? It's never more or less. It's just different.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I remember, it's so weird because even my dad's janaza, because we were all old enough now. Like, we don't just see him as a dad. We see him as a whole community man. We see him as a father, a brother, a son, because we're all now of that age to have that emotional maturity and understanding. And I remember when it was my dad's janaza, we all came back, and one of my aunties, she came up to me and she was just like, it's not the same and it's not easy, but she lost her dad when she was 11, and she was like, I always craved to know what kind of personality my dad was, because I never knew anything of him. Like, she was like, at least you know the type of man your dad was.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, at least you know whether he was funny, whether he was charitable, whether he had a temper, whether he was like, you know, you knew these things about your dad. Whereas because she lost her dad when she was 10, she was like, I still dream about I don't know what he was. Like, I don't know anything about my dad other than he was just my dad.
I've only got the images of the amazing thing about my mum is that
she kept him alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, till this day, like, yes, I had a stepdad. Shout out to all the stepdads. But till this day, like, my mum will keep like she would always tell us little stories forever, and then
That's
I
what you
feel
have
like
to
we
do.
know his personality. So even when it comes to our spouses and things like that, it's like, oh, you seem like you might have my dad's person. So it's like she definitely kept him alive for us.
I'm glad.
But yeah, but no, such is life, babes.
Such
well,
is
yeah,
life.
it's just how you maneuver it and what you take away from it. Do you know?
And you know what? Like, for anyone listening who is going through any type of grief right now, like, I definitely would say, like, it's not a linear journey. Like, I will never sit and make someone say, you know what, smells the roses now. Like, you know what, get to the stage where it's acceptance. Because really and truly, I still go back and forth. Sometimes I'm crashing out on the floor in my knees, and I'm like, why is this happening to me? Like, why have I been robbed away for someone that I really need right now? Because, like, for context, my brother doesn't live with me. He lives with his wife and his child in Birmingham. So when my dad passed away, he had already moved out at that point. So I really felt the absence of protection in this world then, because I was like, I'm not married now either. So and I've been single all my 20s. So I really like felt like my dad was so present, so loving as well. He was a very affectionate dad, which, to be fair, in South Asian households is very uncommon. Like, he used to dance with us, he used to kiss us on the cheek every single morning. He actually made me come into his room because he'd just done a shift at work. He'd be in bed half asleep, and he'd literally be like, I had to come to his room in the morning before I went to school or uni or work, and he'd be like, you look very pretty today, you look very beautiful today, my baby. And I was like, mate, like, that's what I grew up with, and now all of a sudden,
so cute.
That just stopped. And now I'm like, in my early 20s. Most people sometimes lose their parents at 40, 50. Like, you know what I mean? I've lost them, and you probably felt the same. Like, you probably were like, people, how is someone a grandparent and my dad never got to see his grandchild? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really hard to navigate. So I think it's like you said, such is life, but also the grief will come in ebbs and flows. Like, for me, I've had a lot of moments where, like, when I first, like, got my car, I was like, oh my god, this is the first ever car, like, I'm getting, and it's like, it's a big financial decision. I'm not doing it without my dad. He'd probably think I'm getting scammed right now. He needs to be here. Like, I haven't got any male figure in my life now, really and truly. I don't live the world with any layer of protection anymore, and that's really hard to navigate when you're a woman. As you get older as well, like, I think to myself, like, I don't have a husband right now, I don't have a son, I have a brother, but he's got his own responsibilities, and he's in another city. He's trying to also navigate life as a father now. Do you know what I mean?
And trying to navigate without his father too.
And I came to the point where I'm like, yes, I'm the eldest daughter, but I am also a sister, and me and my siblings, we've all connect through the same blood. Like, we've all come from the same parents. He also lost a dad.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, well, life is just peak.
It is.
Like,
we're all in it.
Yeah, we're all in it. So he's struggling, I'm struggling. So I still have those moments of struggle, but in the moments where I do see light, that's Allah's mercy. That's Allah saying, you know what, I did take your dad in a beautiful way, you know? So inshallah, that is,
Yeah. So with the healthy state, let's get back to the positive of what Baba has pushed forward.
Yeah.
So what have you got planned this year?
Whew, okay, well, on the lighter note, one thing is, I definitely am going to be doing more community events this year, inshallah. That is the plan. I want to take Healthy State more offline. I want to keep going online because obviously that's where it all stems from. But I do want to create more health and fitness events that are more surrounded by wellness, and that's not just going to be constrained to the gym. I do think that we as women, not just Muslim women, but just women in general, we just need to find more accessible spaces that are affordable, that are just a way of connecting and networking. I feel like the last 2 years, I've been able to really find a version of myself I didn't have if I didn't network with people, including shout out Muslim Women's Awards.
Yeah. But no, I feel like it's, there's that saying, right? Your network is your net worth. And I know it gets played out, but it's so true. It is so true. You don't know who's gonna inspire you, who's gonna open a door for you, who's gonna help you with your next move, who you gonna help yourself. So yeah,
you always need. I remember, like, it's so funny when I was growing up. I was like, my dad isn't the type of dad who would be able to change the light bulb. He would know someone to fix the light bulb, though.
Thank you.
And that's the whole thing. And I was like, if I grew up with that mentality, I'm like, okay, so that's basically the same what we do right now in the world we live in. But it's like knowing the right people. How you gonna know?
Exactly.
I always think to myself as well, I'm 27 now. What advice I'd give to my younger self is though, like, talk to as many people as possible. Like, always talk to people, because you have no idea who you're networking with.
I love talking to people.
You have to talk to
I've gotten
people.
so much stuff from talking to people.
We're youngsters for a reason. This is why we both have podcasts. We're like, we need to.
Yeah, so tell us about your podcast. For somebody that's never listened to, what can they expect from your podcast?
So it's just us. Thank you for the shout out.
Of course, babe.
So it's just us is definitely a podcast that was built with me and Aisha. So when we were both
And Aisha is your business partner.
yes, so she's also part of Active. So we're both fitness content creators. We started the pod with the mentality of like creating space in the sports world for women and sharing our journeys, and also spotlighting also women in sports to kind of motivate others. But also now we've kind of expanded and we're like, it's just us. It's actually just two girls speaking about everything about life, relationships, careers, religion, spirituality, and also sports as well. And I've been able to really express a lot of my grief journey through the pod. I think the pod is probably my most authentic, raw self I can then translate onto social media.
Good.
And I remember last year Ramadan, we did an episode of grief in Ramadan, and girl, that was heavy, but I didn't realize how beneficial it was. I didn't know how many people needed to listen to that and hear it. And Ramadan especially, because I know you don't probably feel it as well. Ramadan is like, when there's like grief peak periods of the year, that's peak season of grief. And I remember like after that, I had quite a lot of very meaningful conversations with people who are still strangers in some ways online to me. But yeah, sharing that journey. And that's when I was like, you know what? The pod has purpose.
100%.
The pod has real purpose. And
talking is healing. And you don't know who else you're helping.
Or who's
you know
listening.
What I mean? Who's listening. It's not even about who's listening and whatnot, but like if you can get a place where you can vent and put out your thoughts and feelings and things like that. Do you know talk therapy, babes?
Yeah, literally. It's like it's just a bit more prettier.
Like you could say, give me some lighting. But no.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, so we're going to be wrapping it up.
Yeah.
I want to ask you quickly. I told you this on the phone.
Yes.
It was like, everyone kind of did you?
Yes.
All right, cool. Because I was like, everyone gets a bit stumped when we ask this question because it's really hard to think of people at the top of your head. So we have nominations coming up soon for the Muslim Women Awards 2026. So we would love to know who you would nominate.
So within a heartbeat, it's so weird because I have been following this girl for a very long time now. Her name's Saida Haq. So she is a big inspiration of mine.
She designs night.
Yes. She's actually got her own thing now.
She does. I saw that. Her and her husband, right?
Yes.
Fantastic.
And her journey as an unapologetic Muslim woman, a strong, powerful Muslim woman as that as well, who wears the niqab, but
she doesn't even show her face.
She doesn't even show her face, but her work speaks volumes. Big inspiration of mine, especially what she's been able to do in the fashion and fitness and sports industry. She's paved so many ways for women, and I would love for her to be nominated. And I think you could put in quite a lot of categories, which is why she's so sick.
Very true. Sports, I can see her sports, I can see entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even social media, to be fair. She's created when she spoke very openly about Gymshark and Nike, like the way that it created a lot of uproar in terms of like actually shedding light on the fact that, you know what, like actually I'm going to spotlight you guys and yeah, I'm actually going to like call you out because this ain't right. I'm a girl from London. I'm going to tell you, just because I don't have millions of pounds on my back doesn't mean I don't speak my truth, and doesn't mean people aren't going to listen.
But I love that about her. So no, agreed. So you better nominate her.
100%. Well, I'm going to wait for that story and I'm going to be like, yes, I'm going to at her straight away, because I definitely feel like she deserves all the recognition, subhanAllah.
She does. She's making a huge impact.
She deserves.
Massive.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's an amazing nomination.
No starters. I was in
She said, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Flow state. So, Saida, if you're listening to it, you've done a lot for, even especially because I think she's Bengali as well, but from her name, but also as a South Asian woman, I was like, you know what, speak your truth, talk your shit.
And she's doing a huge change, because even like the outfit she brings out, the sportswear that she brings
functionality
out,
as well,
exactly the way she thinks of all of the intricate details of it as well. So very well deserved. All right, so I want quick tips on what we should do 2026 health wise. What do you think? Somebody that doesn't work out. Okay, I'm talking about myself.
Right,
I do
okay.
work out. I feel like, no, I'm lying. I've got all the stuff at home. I've got the bikes. I've got all the stuff. Just give me small, bite size.
First thing first, you need to pick actionable things that you can commit to as a non-negotiable. If you
Okay.
can do 8 to 10K steps a day, make that not your non-negotiable.
Okay.
Literally. But make sure it's practical. If you can't do 5 days of gym in the week, but it's more practical to do 3, make that your non-negotiable, and make it also a quarterly goal instead of a year goal.
I
So
like that.
from now till March, you're gonna probably, if you're also gonna be doing Ramadan as well,
Yes.
you're gonna have to not overwhelm yourself with a whole year target.
So true.
Give yourself a quarter target instead. So actionable goals that are non-negotiable, that aren't too overwhelming, and also maybe stick to a quarter rather than a year goal and see what you're gonna feel like the next quarter. And lastly, I know it's hard, but the relationship with food. That is the thing. Always try, and also if you, as a woman especially, do a what are they called? You know, those diet tests, intolerance test. Yeah. Take an intolerance test for food, because I think as women we have a lot
I'm lactose intolerant.
But do you know for sure?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
No.
And I need to do one as well. So we're all in the journey. But the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing, as women, our bodies are changing, our hormones are changing. Sometimes we need to know intolerance tests or what foods are actually spiking certain hormones and therefore are causing our bodies to feel or look a certain way. A lot of times we're not actually gaining weight. We're bloated. Why are we bloated?
I know why I'm bloated and I need to stop it. But it's like the teas, the coffees, and the sugar in it. Like I could do the black coffee, but I'm telling you, because it just no, they're trash.
We're gonna have to find. We're gonna have to find.
No, I'll do black coffee. I'll do black coffee. Oh, I'd rather do that than.
So I love that you wouldn't do sugar free, but black coffee,
because the sugar free ones are gross.
Fair enough.
I've even got stevia, and I've got all of those stuff.
I'm sure you can connect with an entrepreneur who could make you a good product.
Right?
You know your platform. You know your.
I need to know our worth.
Exactly.
But no, thank you so much, Imaani, for taking the time out and joining us.
Oh, it was an absolute pleasure.
No, we can't wait to see what you've got going on, and we're going to keep our eye on you. And then inshallah, no, we're going to be collaborating this year as well.
100%.
So you guys keep an eye out
on the pod.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And you can catch this episode on our YouTube, Muslim Women Awards, on our Spotify, and no, those 2 platforms. But please follow us on our TikTok and our Instagram. All right. Thank you and bye.